Hello and welcome to another video for WinBidPro version 16 by GDS Estimating. In this one I'd like to talk about the cut list and the optimizer and how all that works in this program. So the first thing we're going to do is look in the reports menu, and there's two items that say cut list, and one is under view reports, one's under print job reports. So we're going to do the view because that's the one that lets you edit and add things to the cut list. So let's see. So here is a list of all the cut pieces for this job. So there's 3 elevations. One of them is actually a punched opening with just a frame package and a door leaf. So that particular elevation wouldn't show up as having optimized cut pieces. So the other two show up here. This is a typical grid in the V16 program where you can filter, you can search. I can type in sill or something, and it's just going to show me those parts depending on what I type there. I can clear that filter, and keep in mind if I hit clear filter, it's going to clear every filter you've done. So I can actually filter here at the column, the column level, and I can say, let's say I want to look at horizontals only. I can do that. So that's something, but if I want to clear just this column and not the whole filter everywhere, I would hit clear filter here. So there's a difference between that clear filter and the individual column one. So something that's different about this grid is the grouping heading up here, or the grouping row. So I can click and drag a column heading up into that row for grouped by, and it's going to show me like subheadings for the elevations or group headings, and I can actually expand those, or one of those, and shrink it and see what parts are actually there for a given elevation. So I've let's see, I've done that. Now if I want to look at just horizontal parts, let's say, I can click horizontal. So now I'm only looking at horizontals for this main entrance elevation. So that's kind of an added feature for the grid that helps you, look at your cut pieces if you're trying to match up cut pieces to your elevation drawing, things like that. So something else that's different about this is we can actually edit values here. Like if I want to, for some reason, change the length of a cut piece, I can type in a new value, click off of that row, and it's going to change the value of that cut piece and show me it in bold. Now that particular piece will not get overwritten if you make changes to your elevation drawing. So this is a kind of a priority change that you've made that says I want this part in this particular piece to be this length and not get changed by the drawing anymore. So keep that in mind if you ever use that feature. Now I can actually go back up here and revert that change back to the original cut size, which is based on the drawing. So all these cut sizes and cut pieces and everything are based on the settings in the framing system, the parts that have been entered in the framing system, and the drawing itself. Otherwise, there's no other way for the program to calculate these things. So you can actually add, like manually add cut pieces by clicking here and browsing for a part, finding a part number you need, or just typing a part number in, entering a quantity, a cut length, and you could even pick an elevation it belongs to, but you can leave that blank and it'll just add it to the first elevation in the job. So you can actually manually add cut pieces that are getting optimized and show up on your final parts report and all that. So again, the framing system for the elevations, like this elevation here has cut pieces and everything. The framing system determines on what part's getting cut, how long it's getting cut, the way it's drawn here, and really that's the source of all the information. But we do give you the option to, or the ability to add just random cut pieces. So that's something that is unique to this. The other thing that is worth mentioning is I can click on this tab and drag it, and I can drop it anywhere really. But it just snapped back. So when I click and drag this and I hold down my mouse button, there's actually a little icon tool that comes up, the gizmo tool, and I can put it on that little right arrow where it kind of shows me that it's going to drop it on the right side. So it splits this drawing window in half, and I can now see my cut list of cut pieces and the drawing itself. So this is one way I can start comparing, matching up parts. You know, I've still got the filter, I've got it grouped by elevation, all that kind of stuff. So another cool thing you can do is click and drag this back, and then I can actually take it to a whole nother monitor and drop it on another monitor. And that way I've got my entire drawing window and then this cut list on the other monitor. So if I want to put it back to where it was, I can just go to the bullseye here and drop it on the bullseye, and it'll put it back in the list of tabs up here. So keep in mind that this, since this is open while you can actually work on your elevation drawings, it's a dynamically updated list of cut pieces. So if you make changes to your drawing, assuming you haven't manually overridden, by changing a cut length manually, it's going to automatically update sizes and parts and pieces and everything else in this cut pieces list. So that's a feature that's we've designed in just because we knew that you might want to have this window open on another screen while you're working on your elevations, and then you can quickly go check on cut pieces. So the optimizer all happens behind the scenes. It happens dynamically in this window, and I can get to it by just going to reports and under view cut list. So now let's look at the cut list report that you would actually give your fabricators. And that's what this one is here, optimized cut list. So this is just taking all the information from the other cut pieces window list and displaying it and printing it in an easy to read format for a fabricator. So you got your part number, your part description, and stock length, and then the stock number and the cuts for each stock. So as you scroll down and go to different pages here, there's not much for this one, but yeah, that's what you see as far as your cut list that you're printing. So that's how it varies from the printed or the actual list of cut pieces. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.